Hello, welcome to the live stream. Currently, I'm reading Mindset by Carlos S Dweck. Currently, I am on page number 108 and chapter 5. Let me write about my task and I will see. And the task should be done so much earlier, but due to some reasons, I don't do. Chapter I didn't realize, but I did. But yeah. I'm tired with but let's see how things goes on, and I will continue until let's see how long I can continue. Business, mindset and leadership, Enron and the talent mindset. In 2001 came the announcement that shocked the corporate world. Enron, the corporate poster child, the company of the future, had gone belly up. What happened? How did such spectacular promise turn into such a spectacular disaster? Was it incompetence? Was it corruption? It was mindset. According to Malcolm Gladwell, writing in the New Yorker, American corporations had become obsessed with talent. Indeed, the gurus at McKinsey and Company, the premier management consulting firm in the country, were insisting that corporate success today requires the talent mindset. Just as there are naturals in sports, they maintain there are naturals in business. Just as sports team write huge checks to sign outsized talents to should corporations spare no expense in recruiting talent. For this is the secret weapon, the key to beating the competition. As Gladwell writes, this talent mindset is the new orthodoxy of American management. It created the blueprint for the Enron culture and sowed the seeds of its demise. Enron recruited weak talent, mostly people with fancy degrees, which is not in itself so bad. It paid them big money, which is not that terrible. But by putting complete faith in talent, Enron did a fatal thing. It created a culture that worshipped talent, thereby forcing its employees to look and act extraordinarily talented. Basically, it forced them into the fixed mindset, and we know a lot about that. We know from our studies that people with the fixed mindset do not admit and correct their deficiencies. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Remember the study where we interviewed students from the University of Hong Kong, where everything is in English? Students with the fixed mindset were so worried about appearing deficient that they refused to make a course that would improve their English. They did not live in a psychological world they where they could take this risk. And remember how we put students into a fixed mindset in their intelligence, much as Enron had done with its star employees. Later, after some hard problems, we asked the students to write a letter to someone in another school describing their experience in our study. When we read their letters, we were shocked. Almost 40% of them had lied about their scores, always in the upward direction. The fixed mindset had made a flaw intolerable. Gladwell concludes that when people live in an environment that esteems them for their innate talent, they have they have grave difficulty when their image is threatened. They will not take the remedial course. They will not stand up to investors that they were wrong. They would sooner lie. Obviously, company that cannot self-correct cannot thrive. If Enron was done in by its fixed mindset, does it follow that companies that thrive have a oh, organizations that grow? Jim Collins set out to discover what made some companies move from being good to being great. What was it that allowed them to make the leap to greatness and stay there, while other comparable companies just held steady at good? To answer this question, he and his research team embarked on a 5 year study. They selected 11 companies whose stock returns had skyrocketed relative to other companies in the industry and who had maintained the edge for at least 15 years. They matched each company to another one in the same industry that had similar resources but did not make the leap. He also studied a third group of companies, ones that had made a leap from good to great but did not sustain it. What distinguished the thriving companies from the others? There were several important factors as Collins reports in his book, Good to Great, but one that was absolutely key was the type of leader who, in every case, led the company into greatness. These were not the larger than life, charismatic types whose ego and self-proclaimed talent. They were self-efficient people who constantly asked questions and had the ability to confront the most brutal answer, that is, to look failures in the face, even their own, while maintaining faith that they would succeed in the end. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Currently, I'm reading Mindset. It's such an amazing book. Mm, Does this sound familiar? Collins wonders why his effective leaders have these particular qualities and why these qualities go together the way they do, and how these leaders came to acquire them. But we know they have the growth mindset, they believe in human development, and these are the hallmarks. They are not constantly trying to prove they are better than others. For example, they don't highlight the packing order with themselves at the top, they don't claim credit for other people's contribution, and they don't undermine others to feel powerful. Instead, they are constantly trying to improve. They surround themselves with the most stable people they can find. They look squarely at their own mistakes and deficiencies, and they ask frankly what skills they and the company will need in the future, and because of this can move forward with confidence that's grounded in the fact, not built on fantasies about their talent. Collins spoke that Alan Birdsell, the CEO of the giant electronics chain Circuit City, held debates in his boardroom rather than simply trying to impress his board of directors. He used them to learn with his executive team as well. He questioned, debated, prodded until he slowly gained a clearer picture of where the company was and where it needed to go. They used to call me the prosecutor, because I would hone in on a question. Bertzel told Collins, "You know, like a bulldog, I wouldn't let go until I understood why. Bertzel considered himself a Blowhart's a hard-working, nonsense, normal kind of guy, but he took a company that was close to bankruptcy and over the next 15 years turned it into one that delivered the highest total return to its stockholders of any firm on the New York Stock Exchange. A study of mindset and management decisions. Robert Wood and Albert Bandura did a fascinating study with graduate students in business, many of whom had management experience. In their study. They created Enron type managers and Bursell type managers by putting people into different mindsets. Wood and Bandura gave these budding business leaders a complex management task in which they had to run a simulator organization. Oh my god, sorry. A furniture company. In this computerized task, they had to place employees in the right jobs and decide how best to guide and motivate these workers. To discover the best ways, they had to keep revising their decisions based on the feedback they got about employee productivity. The researchers divided the business students into two groups. One group was given a fixed mindset. They were told that the task measured their basic underlying capabilities. The higher their capacity, the better their performance. The other group was given a growth mindset. They were told that management skills would evolve through practice and that the task would give them an opportunity to cultivate these skills. The task was hard because students were given high production standards to meet, and especially in their early times, they fell short as oh my god, I'm sorry. As Enron, those with the fixed mindset did not profit from their mistakes, but those with the growth mindset kept on learning, not worried about measuring or protecting their fixed abilities. They looked directly at their mistakes, used the feedback, and altered their strategies accordingly. They became better and better at understanding how to deploy and motivate their workers, and their productivity kept pace. In fact, they ended up being more productive than those with the fixed mindset. What is more, throughout this rather grueling task, they maintained a healthy sense of confidence. They operated like Alan Birdsell. Hello, welcome to the live stream. If you have any question, you can ask. I would love to answer questions. Question can change your day. Question can make your day. Leadership and the fixed mindset. In contrast to Alan Birdsell, the leaders of Collins comparison companies had every symptom of the fixed mindset writ large. Fixed, they must repeatedly affirm that they are superior and the company is simply a platform for this. Collins comparison leaders were typically concerned with their company up to fail when their regime ended. As Collins puts it, after all, but better testament to your own personal greatness than that the place falls apart after you leave. In more than two-thirds of these leaders, the researchers saw a gargantuan personal ego that either hasn't the demise of the company or kept it seconded. One such leader was Lee Lakoa, head of Chrysler, who achieved a miraculous turnaround for his company, then spent so much time grooming his fame that in the second half of his tenure, the company plunged back into the mediocrity. Many of these comparison companies operated on what Collins called a genius with a servant helpers model instead of building an extraordinary management team. Like the good to great companies, they operated on the fixed mindset premise that geniuses do not use great teams, they just need little helpers to carry out their brilliant ideas. Don't forget that these great geniuses don't want great teams either. Fixed mindset people want to be the only big fish so that when they compare themselves to those around them, they can feel a cut above the rest. In not one autobiography of fixed mindset, you read much about mentoring or employee development program. In every growth mindset autobiography, there was deep concern with personal development and extensive discussion of it. Finally, as with Enron, the geniuses refused to look at their absences, says Collins. The good to great Kroger's grocery chain looked bravely at the danger signs in the 1970s, sign that the old-fashioned grocery store was becoming extinct. Meanwhile, it part A and B, one the largest retailing organization in the world, shut its eye. For example, when A and P opened a new kind of store, a superstore, and more successful than the old kind, they closed it down. It was not what they wanted to hear. In contrast, Kroger eliminated and changed every single store that did not fit the new superstore model, and by the end of the 1990s, it had become the number one chain in the country. Oh no, it has more 46 minus 12, 34. Literally. Mm. Hello, welcome to the live stream. I have to plug in Jaya. Oh, what is that? It just got separate. I don't know. Don't care. Enjoying the time with myself, and let's see what I have to share and what I can. Hello. Just welcoming you in the live stream. You easy. Yeah, I will do easy first and then complete everything I got. Oh shit. Red PLN 80. This is because it's VCNTNS contains a lot of I don't know anxiety. I know. Oh shit. I think with one it should have not. Hello. With people, but people are not interacting. I cannot say anything. No. That your the oh shit. That's the and the road trans shit. Won't be areas as you are then concrete. The and I don't just messing. How much? 26 only bad. It's not, but it's about writing. Exists a larger invisible river of what it and there are more water in the sandpaper of the Amazon shit. Amazon rainforest than in the river. Shit, military chocolate is part of the Russian given out to troops. Hello, welcome to the live stream. I don't know who is watching me, but still I can see one person is watching me. Maybe zero, but let's interact and tell me about yourself, and I would love to share lots of things about myself. And I can help you in every situation. Getting better. Yeah, it's better. And all of the ladies are from the glass ball. Brain out and tiger. Smiling seems to be an invulnerability. It is CONSIST. And hello, welcome to the live stream. Can you tell me where are you watching me from? I really love to interact with you guys who can smile despite never seeing anyone else smile. Hey bro, how are you? Oh shit. Hmm. What do you mean by that? What is your mindset? Can you tell me? Why did you ask that? Before that, I was reading, and currently I am typing. I'm doing typing practice. Mm, but I didn't get. You asked me that what type of books? Strongest. Eh, I'm not sure what you want to ask. I think you are not getting. I'm not getting you clearly, but you can ask, explain it in a better way if you have time. Mm, if you are asking about this book, uh, it is it was self-help book. I would love to show you, and I would love to show while reading, but I have to wait for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. After that, I will see. It's related self-help, like how to improve your mindset, how to think big, and how to achieve big goals. Sorry. Uh, you can ask me anything. I love to answer. Right now I'm typing, and I'm just so yeah, that's it. What are you asking? I'm not getting. Uh, you want to know why I'm reading mindset and why I'm reading book mindset? Is that is your question or what? Mm, what is that? What is my mindset? I'm not getting it. In what way you are asking that? In what perspective? I'm not getting the perspective. Can you play Roblox? Brother, I cannot. There is option of playing Roblox, but I cannot. I will try. Sorry. I can try after few minutes, but by the way, you can subscribe me if you didn't. I don't able to read. Sorry for the background noise. Draw is working. Yes, he is seeing something. Oh, I will back after 35 seconds. Do you leave it? Just complete the turns out. And just I did never tried. Oh, then anything like trauma. You got something like that stuff when you started reading self-help. No, but you no, I didn't get. It's actually everybody. Why I'm reading this book? Mm, I will explain in proper way why I'm reading this book mindset because it tells me about myself and what type of mindset should I have. Like my aim in life is totally different from most of the people I see around me. So, bye. So, uh, so I started reading books. I read lots of books, and I do have lots of books around me. This is one. This is one mindset. This is another one, and I would love to show you more and why I'm reading this. It actually helps me to know what the world is exactly and how one can make. There is another one, great, and two more in the packets, but I don't want to open at that time. And I think five or six more books I do have uh, with me. Why I read this? Just to improve my mindset and get better at who I am as a human being. I for you this idea anything, is there anything like trauma, you got something like that stuff when you know nothing happened ever in my life like that? Why I'm reading this is just to improve myself. Self-help is not all about trauma and all that, are relationship breakups are, no, it's about to seeing the perspective of people who wrote this type of stuff and who are sharing hundreds of things to people, um, which they have done it in a great way and sharing to the other people. Whenever we read books, it opens our mind and we started thinking in a different way. The way I used to see these books is just to information and implement things whatever seems good in them. It's not, it's just, first of all, reading can totally change your life. And yeah, inside them there is hundred of things that can totally change my someone's life. You can ask more questions, but you think you are. I'm not clear what you mean by the what you think you are. I'm just like you, a normal human being. Why do you want to see my palm? The oh, by the way, I'm to be honest, I am atheist, but I would love to show you my palm. I have to pause it, but I have no idea. Close. Let's. Okay. I don't know. Is it clear, bro? I'm a palmist. Okay. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. What? Are you able to see it properly? Bro, yes, this is a right hand. Due to camera, it seems like that, but yes, this is true. And your lines are not clear. Ooh, let me show you. I think lines will not be clear. I would love to send you a photo. Let me take a photo with my another phone, but I will send you on Instagram. It can be due to camera lighting. Yeah, it's camera and lighting both. You can say that. Yeah, tell me about that. How that works? Like, because I'm atheist and don't believe in this shit. Mm. Mm. Oh shit. You can check. I can read your face too. Oh, nice, nice. If you can read my face, Yes, do it, bro. You do it. I love that. And I sent you a photo on Instagram. You can take a look at there. Tell me. I would really love to know that. But per, you can read my face to. By the way, where did you learn that stuff? And what we can know after that? What? I'm curious to hear that. But my eye says. Mm. Yo, that's good. But what else? What what else? Is it going to happen or not? What do you say? After seeing my eyes, also sent you a photo on Instagram. You can check there. I would love to meet you one tomorrow. Where do we play cricket? I'm already in 100% risk. It seems like that. That's just normal stuff. Anybody can guess that. To me, I'm sorry for that, but to me, it seems like that. I would love to meet you tomorrow. What do you say on this? I'm pretty excited to check, show you my hands and what else? Uh, my eyes. What else? What else? Tell me more. I would love to hear the type of such things. Something that you. Ooh, how do you know that? How do you know that? How does this work? Like the thing you write shortly happen. What is going to happen? Can you tell that? And how do you judge these things? I would love to know that. Currently, I cannot see on my screen, so I cannot read comments because I'm practicing something. I'm sorry for that, but yeah, I will back in 6 minutes and 18 seconds. Time is getting shorter for me. So tell me whatever you have to share. I will read it and share it. By the way, two persons are watching me and only one is commenting and interacting with me. Why is that so? Actually, is not always correct. By the way, are you astrologer or palmist? Palmist, whatever you say. Okay, what else? What else? Do your puja and what else? How I can do that? I have no idea how one can do that, and I don't take much interest in that. To be honest, I'm just honest in everything. Mm, Okay, brother. If you are watching me, then tell me what else. Mhm. When waiting will happen shortly. Astrology is not always correct. What I'm waiting for? Do you do puja? Sorry, I don't do puja. Yeah. I do meditation regularly, and I do jap some mantras. I will back shortly.